Welcome back into We Know Ball. I'm Connor Fuchsa.
I'm Mason Bell.
Now, last week we did our college football edition show, and you know what? We liked it so much, we're bringing back a lot of college football this week. We're going to actually start making it more of a staple of the show. But as always, we're going to get back to starting with NFL and recapping some of the big games from this past week. And we got to start with none other than last night's game. Monday Night Football, Jaguars versus Chiefs. A game that maybe not a lot of people thought was going to be great. I mean, the Jags have looked good so far this season, but the Chiefs will get back on track. Nope. Jags win this game. Jags are 4-1 and the Chiefs are 2-3. Mason, what's your initial thoughts on that game?
Watching that game, I don't know. It felt like, I don't want to say this because obviously it's the Chiefs, but like it felt like some of those calls were trying to go in the Chiefs' favor, like that missed defensive PI or offensive PI where it was defensive, where they hit the receiver when Trevor Lawrence was trying to hit him. It was P.J. Washington.
Mm-hmm.
They hit him before the ball was even out, and then interception. But I still think that it just didn't work.
Yeah, no, but I will say at least finally at the end of a game we got a call against the Chiefs. That PI in the end zone, that's one that maybe last year a lot of people would joke about that the Chiefs would get away with that call. But it was PI. It was. He got there a little early. He never turned his head around. Correct call in that situation. And then, the Trevor Lawrence stumble twice, get up, run in it. That is the most Trevor Lawrence game-winning play I think I've ever seen in my life. To fall on the snap, get up, fall again, and then still be able to go score a touchdown for the win. It was pure comical to watch.
I think I heard Ben Johnson say, write that down for next week. A little trick play.
Yeah. No, on the post-game show, they were talking about the fact that, I don't know, or it was the Mannings. The Mannings, Peyton Manning literally said, he goes, I don't know, I feel like that was the golf stumble where they faked the fall on purpose, literally talking about the Ben Johnson thing. I don't know how it worked, but it did, and Jags win this game. So, I guess let's start with the Chiefs side of it, because honestly it's probably the more, Jags being 4-1 shocking, but the Chiefs being 2-3 is a little bit shocking. Their losses are to the Chargers, Jags, and Eagles, and they've only beat the Giants and then the Ravens, who haven't looked great so far this season. What is the season outlook for them? Is this something that when Rashee Rice comes back in 2 weeks, they can turn it around? Or are you thinking this might be the first time in history Patrick Mahomes doesn't make AFC Championship?
I just don't think Rashee Rice is that much of a game changer.
Yeah.
He's a good player, but they need more than that right now. And I feel like I'm looking in the future. I'm looking towards January, and I'm looking at a 9-8 Chiefs team, maybe 10-7.
I think 10-7. I just went through their schedule again last night, and I think they lose to the Lions next week, and they're going to fall to 2-4. And then they got Commanders, Colts, Broncos twice, Chargers again. There's definitely a chance for the Chiefs to go 10-7, to be honest. You think 10-7 is the ceiling? Okay. But looking over at the Jaguars, Brian Thomas Jr. Hunter, in my opinion, finally looked good. Trevor Lawrence doesn't look anything amazing, but he did what he needed to do last night. The defense stepped up. Jags won this game. Are the Jags now a team that you're saying can maybe make a run and find their way into the playoffs? Because I asked you 2 weeks ago. I said I like this Jaguars team. Could both the Jags and the Colts make it into the playoffs? And you said no. Has your opinion changed on that? Now that they're both sitting at 4-1.
I don't know. I can't see it for the Jags. Mm-hmm. Maybe the Colts. I'll get to that later on.
Well, one of them has to make the playoffs. It's not Houston.
Yeah, but Houston, really good game.
But it was against Baltimore, which it's crazy to say. Saying, it was just Baltimore is a crazy statement, but it is. Right now they're so injured, they're banged up. It was Cooper Rush.
They still scored 44 points.
Yes.
If you score 44 points on an NFL team, you did a good job.
Yes, no, that's right.
Oh my goodness, I don't know. I don't think I can say that for the Jags right now.
Yeah.
Just because of sheer I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna happen.
But now we do got to talk about one player. We didn't talk about a lot on the offense. We got to talk about one guy on the defense. We got to talk about Devin Lloyd. the season he's had so far, the 99-yard pick six on Mahomes last night. He had 2 interceptions the week before, a pick the week before. Like, I mean, he's forced a turnover in 4 of their 5 games this season, and he's come up big in a lot of those in big moments. He's not a name that I don't think even probably had odds measured for Defense Player of the Year at the beginning of the season. Now he's at least in the top 5, I believe. Obviously, we talked about before the show started. For some reason, the odds 1 and 2 are still Hutchinson and Micah, even though Nick Benito's looked great and Devin Lloyd's looked great.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, he is the Defensive Player of the Year 5 weeks into the season.
Yeah, and Connor, remember watching the game the week before?
Yes.
What college did he go to, Connor?
Oh, no. Okay, so me and Mason, when we watch football together, Mason loves to just ask me what college X player went to. And we were watching that Jags game, and Devin Lloyd made a tackle. And I'm just going to take a guess. I mean, maybe it's because I guessed this like 10 times. Is it Boston College?
It's not Boston
Dang
College.
it, okay.
It's Utah.
It's Utah, okay. And so we play a game where I have to guess, and I'm usually always wrong. Unless there was a guy that came out in the last 5 years, because I didn't watch college football really growing up. And we were talking about him, and as we were talking about him, trying to figure out his college, he got an interception in that game, and then got one more later. So, shout out Devin Lloyd.
And he's first in the NFL for interceptions.
As a linebacker. That is crazy.
But, I mean, it kind of makes sense because as corners, if you're a good corner, you're not getting thrown to.
Yeah.
But
no, yeah, usually the corners that lead the league in interceptions aren't like a top 10 corner. They're just guys that get thrown at a lot and are with good, like, ball hawk skills.
But this is insane.
Yeah, I've never seen last night, like, the pick to me was, I don't know if it was better, like, defensive play calling or just great on Lloyd, but it was a perfect situation where the Jags showed cover 0. They showed all-out blitz, and Lloyd fakes the blitz, immediately turns around, steps back. He looks like he knew exactly what route Kelsey was running, because Kelsey was faking it out, cutting in, and before Kelsey even cut in, he turned around and jumped that route and got the interception. I mean, that was great defensive play calling. That was probably great film study. Overall, just an amazing play, and then the fact to take it 99 yards, I mean, just the cherry on top. So, yeah, but let's move on from that game. The biggest storyline of the weekend, probably, we have no undefeated teams left in the NFL, and we're only 5 weeks into the season. I mean, the Bills lose to your Patriots 23-20. Eagles lose to the Broncos 21-17. And I mean, we just talked about on last week's show, like, how long can one of these teams go undefeated? And we thought, at least for the Eagles, it would go on a lot longer than this. But just like that, 4-1 is the best record in the NFL.
We talked about it last week. We're like, who lasts longer? Mm-hmm. Well, no, neither.
Yeah. That should have been an option. My bad.
I think this Eagles team, it takes scheme to beat them. And I think the Broncos absolutely out-schemed them.
Yeah.
And outplayed them.
I think we'll start with the Eagles-Broncos game, then we'll get to the Bills-Pats. I think the interesting thing right now is, I mean, Eagles went up 17-3 in this game, and then had 18 unanswered points from the Broncos to win it. But the Eagles' offense is just bringing up so many question marks to me. I mean, Saquon's not really getting used. He had 6 carries. Like, I don't even know the last, and that was in a game, again, that they were winning for a lot of it. It was 17-3. They had a positive run game script. 6 carries? Like, that feels like maybe they know that they abused him last year, and they're just trying to, like, slowly ease him in throughout the season so they have him for the playoffs, which I think is a smart strategy for an actual team. Like, if you want long-term success, to, like, kind of ease your stars in the regular season if you're winning games. But it's just so weird. 6 carries, that's it. I mean, he did have 3 catches and got one of those for a touchdown, but just 9 touches on the game is a very, very, very low touch count for, I mean, what everyone thought to be the best player in football last year.
Yeah.
And so it's just been a really weird start to the season for the Eagles.
I mean, he was my preseason pick for
Offensive Player
of the Year.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see I'm not saying he regressed in talent. I'm just saying he regressed in productivity. Yeah. And I think also this Broncos defense did a really good job shutting down the run.
Yeah.
Even with those 6 carries, he was going nowhere.
Yeah. And I think the overall arching theme of all this, in my opinion, is the Eagles' offensive line doesn't look like the Eagles' offensive line of previous years. This is an offensive line that, unless you want to say the Lions are the best, has been the best offensive line for years. And maybe the Colts are in that conversation, but they're at least a top 3 offensive line for the entire 2020s. And I mean, in back-to-back weeks now, They gave up 5 sacks against Denver on Jalen Hurts, and I mean that's a mobile quarterback. You're not getting sacked a lot unless you're getting a lot of pressure. And they gave up, I believe it was 6 sacks against the Rams. So that's back-to-back weeks. They're getting home to the quarterback. A lot of times this season, I mean Saquon hasn't broken off a 20-yard run. That's insane when he was doing that like in his sleep last year. So it just feels more like an offensive line problem than anything to me right now. But let's talk about the Broncos. I mean, in my opinion, the first game where I finally seen what we talked about in the offseason out of that offense. I know they only scored 21 points, but you saw all the new pieces do their job. Dobbins gets 79 yards and a touchdown. For the first time, Evan Ingram's alive, a guy that I was really high on in the offseason. 4 catches, 33 yards and a touchdown. Harvey's involved in the passing game, not a ton yet, and then Sutton has himself a day. I think this is what we expected of the Broncos offense, and the 21 points doesn't do justice to kind of how well of an oiled machine it looked in this game.
Yeah, and I think you don't have to score to have a good offense. Mm-hmm. You just have to create a run game, create a pass game, and do those 2 things well. And that's what they did. Sutton, great game. Mm-hmm. Dobbins, the running back, and then R.J. Harvey, the receiving back, and then, of course, Evan Ingram. He's on my bench.
I dropped him in one of my leagues. He was my tight end. He was my fantasy football, like, this is the guy I'm getting for tight end. And I dropped him.
It was either that or David Njoku, and you missed on 2 of those.
Hey, Njoku with Dylan Gabriel might be legit now. We don't know yet. It's too early to tell with that. But Evan Ingram, yeah, I already dropped him. I'd given up on him. And so maybe I need to go back and see if he's on the waiver wire. But let's go over to your game now. Bills, Patriots. We talked about it. I mean, we talked about it off screen a lot. That we really, for some reason, were just a gut feeling that the Patriots were winning this game.
It's not we. You had a gut feeling. I believed. I believed.
No, yeah, you believed, but then I had just like a gut feeling that I was like, I don't know, this just feels like a game the Bills lose. Like a primetime game against a division rival. And I mean, it was exactly that. It felt like that. Like the Bills didn't play really a bad game. It didn't feel like at any point in this game the Patriots were a very even matchup. And the Patriots just got the last possession. Like, that's what it felt like.
Okay. I want to talk about a couple things.
Okay.
First, I want to talk about Ramondre Stevenson. Look at me. I don't care if you score 2 touchdowns. Get off the team. I don't want you on the team anymore. The fumbling is a problem.
Yeah, no, it is.
The fumbling is a problem. I think he had 2 fumbles during the Steelers game, and he had the fumble Sunday night. And
yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this guy cannot hold on a freaking football.
Like, it's crazy because, like, how much talent he has, in a sense. Like, he has to be the most insane practice player and locker room guy for these coaches to not have benched him yet. Because, I mean, it was the problem last year. He led the league in fumbles last year. And then now you're going to come into this season, he's still having that same problem, and they still are giving him those goal line carries and not giving up on him. But I guess that brings me to my next question. When do you think the Patriots finally unleash Henderson? Gibson is now out for the season. He tore his ACL. So now it is officially a 2-back system. And with Stevenson's fumbling problem, I feel like you have to give the reins to Henderson now.
I feel like with the teams nowadays, like the big teams that are winning a lot of games, like Chiefs, Eagles, they're learning how to let go of a locker room guy. Mm-hmm. Like, give him less snaps. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what we need to do. I think that's the reason. Ramondre Stevenson, he's like a locker room guy. He's a practice team warrior. But Henderson, he's got so much value. He has so much value. You saw in this game that he had like a 13-yard run. And then just sub him out. It's so weird to me. And especially with the Antonio Gibson ACL tear, I think they're going to have to just finally rip the Band-Aid off, put him in starting, and still use Ramondre because he is good in the pass game. Mm-hmm. But I think it's time.
Yeah. Again, Ramondre Stevenson has talent. So I think you need to continue to have him in this offense. And I mean, also, we just know it's not going to work with, like, Trayvon Henderson's not a bell cow back. He's not a back that can be out there for 90% of the snaps. Like, you need to have a backup for him, but I think he should at least be the starter.
Yeah.
Final point on this game, Stephon Diggs' revenge game, 10 catches, 146 yards against his old team. Led the Pat. Honestly, what got player of the game for, like, Sunday Night Football's crew, put him as player of the game. as a Patriots fan, like, do you have a little bit of like animosity against the Bills, and was it nice to see their own player beat them?
Well, I always hate the Bills.
Yeah.
That's simple. I've always hated the Bills, and I don't know. I think he was fine with it. He didn't have you heard him in the press conference. He didn't have really any animosity.
Yeah.
He even shouted out that picture of him side eyeing Josh Allen, and he was like, it was just wrong moment. So I don't want to focus too much on Stephon because he did play good. I want to focus a lot on Drake May. 22 for 30, 273 yards. I know he didn't get a touchdown because, I mean, if he got like 2 touchdowns in this game, you know what I mean? People would be talking about him right now.
Yeah.
But he played lights out.
That pass on that last drive to Diggs.
I was surprised Chris Collinsworth didn't go all Mahomey on that. That was insane. And then that pass to Diggs, where it was like that post route, and he was like on the run, and he threw it. Chris Collinsworth credited Diggs. He didn't even talk about Drake May for that impeccable throw. But yeah, he's playing lights out.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely. If he played like this last year, he would have got rookie.
Yeah, I mean, it's up there. Daniels had an amazing rookie season, but I mean, yeah, he would be in the conversation. I mean, he's looking he's looking like what y'all thought he was going to be. Like, this isn't another. I mean, shout out Mac Jones. He's cooking with San Francisco now, but this isn't another Mac Jones situation. Like, Drake May looks like he's going to be the quarterback of the Patriots for the next decade if y'all can keep him.
Hey, Drake and Josh, the show. Drake versus Josh in the next 7 or 8 years.
That's a good rivalry name.
Yeah.
That's actually a great rivalry name.
I've seen a lot of edits of the intro to Drake and Josh.
Yes.
Only 90s and 2000s kids will ever understand that reference.
Exactly.
But it's a perfect reference. But now let's move over.
Wait,
Oh, no.
I do want to credit one more person. Andy Borregales,
The kicker.
the rookie kicker.
Yes.
He gets put in a spot when you're at a visitor stadium in Buffalo. In Buffalo, of all stadiums, and just nail a 50, I think it was 52-yarder.
Mhm.
You know how hard it is
No,
to
that
do
is
that?
bad. Like, we were talking about it before we went up. I was like, this is the kicker that we've watched miss 2 extra points, Mason. Do you have any confidence in him? And I think you might have said yes, but it was a shaky yes. And then he nailed. I mean, that was so straight, too. It was like literally the perfect
It was
kick.
good
Like,
from 65.
and it was straight. Like,
Yeah.
there was no, that was the perfect kick. Like, I agree. In that moment, an away game, 52-yarder, I mean, basically a game winner. It wasn't it was a game winner, not like a buzzer beater, but
Yeah.
I mean, amazing kick.
Mhm.
But now we do got to move on.
Yep.
Real quick before we wrap up NFL talk, let's talk about some early MVP favorites. There's been a lot of players. There's been a few players that have been standing out early in the season, and it's not a lot of the big names. Usually, when you're around week 4 or 5, it's like the Lamars, the Josh Allens, the Mahomes, like the guys that already have a resume for themselves. But this year, it's been a lot of, I guess, quarterbacks that probably wouldn't have been in the conversation preseason. So my 4 I want to talk about, 4 players, and then you can give me your opinion if you've got another one you want to throw in, is obviously Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, and Jonathan Taylor. If you have to throw in one non-quarterback, I think Jonathan Taylor, he has to be it. He's leading the league in rush yards, rushing touchdowns. He's 7th in yards per carry for running backs, like actual starting running backs. And he's still putting in some receiving work. So I feel like he has to be in the conversation. But of those quarterbacks, which one's your favorite early?
Where's Drake May? Just kidding.
Not in it
Okay.
yet. Of those 3 quarterbacks, which one's your favorite early, or is there actually another person you want to bring out?
Right now, if we're talking about if they would be giving out the MVP trophy tomorrow, I'd say it's Baker.
Yeah.
I think what he has done, every single game, it's like he's leading a game-winning drive.
It is. They've got 4 wins and they've got 4 game-winning drives.
It's unbelievable. So I think just what he's doing right now, I'm not trying to discredit Dak. I know he's playing really good, but I just think what Baker Mayfield has done with, okay, I'm trying to compare and say the Bucks are in a worse situation, but it's really not.
No.
Bucks are out their star wide receiver. Cowboys are out their star wide receiver. And then I just think Emeka Egbuka and Baker Mayfield, what they have is special.
Like, the fact that they've got a connection that looks like a wide receiver and quarterback that have been playing together for years and they're 5 games in. Like the way Baker just trusts, like it kind of reminds me of a Stafford. Stafford, when he's got his guys, he trusts them, and he's going to absolutely. I guess maybe almost Puka should have probably been in this MVP candidacy.
Yeah.
But when Stafford has a guy, he is just going to throw it to him every single play possible, and he's going to trust him no matter the coverage, no matter anything. That's what Baker and Egbuka are feeling like to me right now. I feel like anytime it's been over 3 seconds and Baker's gone through 2 progressions, it's like, screw it, throw it to Egbuka. He'll come down with it. One-handed, he'll come down with it. Jump ball, he'll come down with it. Like, and he is. That's the crazy part. And so the connection they have right now is just insane. But I think, I don't really know. Their stats are so similar. Like, you could, I don't want to discredit Stafford. Stafford's first in passing yards, second in touchdowns. And so, in a sense, he actually has the best stats of the three. But he does, I don't want to discredit his situation, but like a lot of MVP is most valuable. And like he does have Puka, he does have Devontae, he does have Kyron, he does have Sean McVay, the offensive mastermind. Stafford's looked amazing, and he has an amazing defense. So like overall, Stafford's just got by far the best team. You go to Dak and Baker, they both had to deal with a lot of injuries and a lot of, just worse situations. Baker has had Godwin out for 3 games, Evans out for a game. Or 2 games. Bucky Irving out for a game. Tristan Wirfs has missed some time. Like, he's had a lot of injuries to deal with. Dak has had CD out for basically 3 games. He got hurt first play of the 3 games ago. Turpin missed a game. 4 offensive linemen were out in this game against the Jets. And they also said Dak's just missing a defense because he just doesn't have one. Like, it's as if they're hurt because they're all gone. And so, it's between Dak and Baker. You can pick your poison. Obviously, I'm going to go Dak.
I know.
Like, I'm going to go... His stats are, better than Baker's by a little bit. I think it's hard because Baker, again, has the better record and has been more clutch. Not that Dak hasn't been clutch. He just hasn't had a couple games where he's been in a situation where he could be. I don't know. It's literally a coin flip. If you say Baker, I'm saying you're 100% right. And if you're saying Dak, I'm saying you're 100% right. Like, they're both great. I can't pick one, but it's one of the two right now. But on that note, we're going to head to commercial break. When we get back, we're going to get into some hot takes. Welcome back into We Know Ball. Now, before the commercial break, we talked about the NFL and all the big storylines coming out of this past weekend. Now, we're going to get into a hot take, but this week, for Mason's benefit, he loves his college football hot takes a lot more than his NFL hot take. So I said we could do either. I don't know what he's picked yet. I've got an NFL hot take, but I don't know if I'm assuming he has a college football
I have
hot
a
take.
college football.
Okay, so we're going to do hot takes, and then we're going to get into some AP poll reactions and get into college football. But let's start with your hot take first. What do you got?
So we've talked about all these Power 4 teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these Power 4 teams. Who's going to make the playoffs? Who's going to do this? Remember, a group of 5 team still has to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Still gets an automatic spot.
Yes.
People are saying, who's it going to be?
USF.
USF. They're out there. Memphis beat Arkansas. Neither.
I'm excited for what you're about to pull.
The automatic qualifier for the group of 5 teams is North Texas.
Oh, I love it. The Mean Green.
Undefeated, playing lights out football.
Oh,
I've never seen anything like this out of the Mean Green.
Yeah.
Right? And we're both from North Texas.
They're playing like they're an actual college.
Yeah. We're both from North Texas. We've grown up around like people who have gone there.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't even.
Shout out Ivan.
They have a football team? What? 5-0. It's insane. And they lost their star quarterback from last year.
I know, yeah. Chandler Morris transferred to Virginia. That's also a ranked team. And then they've had Drew Mestemaker come in and absolutely look just as good.
And this team, did you see the way they just whooped up on Washington State?
Yeah.
59-10.
Like, this offense is insane.
And, okay, I do want to talk about Drew.
Yeah.
1,200
passing
passing
last
yards.
name?
Uh,
Mestemaker?
Mestemaker. Yeah,
That's what I
mean,
believe. I could be completely wrong.
That's actually pretty easy. I looked at it, I was like, oh. 1,200 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Let me say that again. Zero interceptions.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. Especially if you're in college, you're going to make mistakes. That's what's going to happen, especially if you're in a group of 5 team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
He's playing perfect football right now.
He really is.
And if they don't get into the playoffs this year, I think he definitely transfers to Power 4.
School. Yeah.
But, yeah, that's the hot take.
I 100%. I don't want to say 100% agree, but I really do believe it. honestly, the game that decides it all almost is happening this weekend. You've got USF versus UNT. If North Texas wins this game, honestly, USF is now basically eliminated because they now don't have the head-to-head, and it's just going to be between North Texas and Memphis. The only reason I'd be hesitant is I really do like this Memphis team, but I mean,
it's a tough
toss-up.
It's a tough conference.
Mm-hmm.
You have Navy, you have Memphis, you have North Texas, you have South Florida, you have Tulane.
Yeah,
it's a tough conference.
I even forgot about Tulane. Tulane's in that conversation, so it's that's why it's a hot take. Like, it's not obvious. I would say most people are thinking North Texas is probably the fourth of those four teams, but I genuinely do like this team, and I think that could happen. So I can see it. Now, my hot take, you're not going to like at all. Because we kind of talked about one of these teams earlier. My hot take, so let me just set the scene real quick. This season, to me, and you're going to know where I'm going with this second I say this, feels like that 2017-2018 season where the playoffs and the teams that kind of just emerged kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, outside of the Patriots with Tom Brady being successful, that AFC Championship game was Blake Bortles and Saxonville versus Tom Brady, and the NFC Championship was Nick Foles and the Eagles versus Case Keenum and the Vikings. It's like one of those most iconic championship weekends because it wasn't the Mahomes, there was Brady, but the Allens, the Burrows, the Lamars that we've seen in recent years in the championship games, in the conference championships. It was just good football teams with good defenses that had a quarterback that could handle the game or manage the game. So my hot take is between two teams, and it's I truly believe the Colts or the Jags will be in the AFC Championship game. I think they will meet the Bills. I think the Bills are still good enough and they're going to make it there. But with how the top contenders in the AFC have taken a step back, with the Chiefs taking a step back, with the Ravens taking a step back, I'm not a Steelers believer. I don't know if I trust Justin Herbert in the playoffs. Broncos are good. They have a chance in there. But it just feels like one of those years where there's going to be a team that makes it that isn't supposed to, and a Daniel Jones or Trevor Lawrence-led team is going to find their way into the conference championship.
Wow.
This season is giving me that vibes. There's so much parity in the NFL. There's so much. I mean, there's not an undefeated team 5 weeks in. Like, there's no one that's untouchable this year, and I think that's the perfect way to open up for some team to make a Cinderella run. I specifically chose those teams, though. NFC feels a little more top-heavy. Like, I feel like an Eagles, Lions, Rams, 2 of those 3 will be in the championship game. The AFC, though, feels pretty open. I almost said Super Bowl. I don't think either of these teams can beat the Bills. But outside of the Bills, I mean, and even the Bills proved this past weekend they're beatable.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do believe one of the Jags, the Colts make the AFC Championship.
Nope.
It hurts to say. It feels ugly to say, but I believe it. The Colts. I mean, okay. I know you're not as high on Jacksonville. This feels like Saxonville to me, though. I mean, they're turning in so many turnovers. They've already got. I think they're now at 12 or 13 turnovers in 5 games. The last time they had double digit through 4 games was 2018 Jacksonville. The defense has really, really taken a step up, which is surprising when you bring in an offensive-minded head coach, that's the change. I do trust Liam Cohen's offensive scheme. Trevor Lawrence scares me. I don't really want to ever pick Trevor Lawrence to win a playoff game, but it feels more like a Blake Bortles type of season where it's like he doesn't have to do anything crazy. Or like a Brock Purdy we've talked about in the past. You don't got to do anything crazy. Just don't lose your team the game.
Yeah.
Let Etienne, let Brian Thomas Jr., let Travis Hunter make plays. Let the offensive play calling kind of handle the game, and then let your defense do the job. And so I really do think one of these AFC South teams is making the AFC Championship.
That's definitely a hot take.
It's definitely hot.
I don't think I can comment anymore on that. That was just, wow.
I know you don't like the Jacksonville shout, but like, can you, now we're 5 weeks in the season, can you genuinely see the Colts going on a run? You really still don't believe?
No, I can see them in the playoffs, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but they'll make the playoffs. But like, you don't believe, let's say their path consists of Steelers and then Chargers or Broncos.
Connor, I see this team as 2024 Minnesota Vikings.
You think they'll get a lot of wins in the regular season and then disappear?
Yep.
Okay. That's a fair take, but I really do think they can make a run this year. But now let's move over to college football. We're going to move over to AP poll reactions. We're going to do what we did last week. We're kind of just going to go through it and then stop me, Mason, when you have something to talk about. I think the top, honestly, is pretty good this week, but we'll get into some big points. But Ohio State 1, Miami 2. They jump Oregon. I like that call. Ole Miss 4, Texas A&M 5, OU 6. Indiana 7, Bama 8, Tech 9, Georgia 10. I feel like we really have no questions here. LSU 11, Tennessee 12, Georgia Tech 13, Missouri 14, Michigan 15. Notre Dame 16 is probably where we have to stop. That's my first point I want to make. It's probably Notre Dame. Like, the AP poll did a good job at the top this week, it feels like. I really don't have any complaints on how they put it together. Except for the complaints I had last week, which I still think, like, LSU should be higher than Georgia. But, like, I'm not. They're being consistent, at least, with what they did last week. So, let's start with Notre Dame. This is a team we talked about, obviously, after week 2. They were 0-2 and still ranked. Since then, I mean, they beat up on some bad teams. I mean, Arkansas's not a bad team. The Arkansas one was good. Boise State hasn't looked amazing this year. And then Purdue. Like, they don't really have a big statement win. And now they've moved all the way up to 16 with 2 losses. There's no other 2-loss team besides Florida State in the top 25. And at least Florida State has a Bama win. Whereas, I mean, again, Notre Dame doesn't have that type of win. Is this too high?
I don't know. I think we said the same thing for when they were 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this should be out.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're staying consistent, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not going to be realistic, just stay consistent. So, I mean, they've won 3 games in a row. Of course, it was against bad teams. Arkansas fired their head coach. Boise State doesn't have Genty anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they're staying consistent. But yeah, I don't agree they should be there.
Yeah.
I just don't know where all these biases are coming from the AP voters.
Yeah. It like, here's how I want to compare it for the viewers. I think I talked about this a little bit last week, but we're going to talk about it again. It's Auburn. Mm-hmm. Auburn and Notre Dame feel like they should be ranked next to each other. Like, if Notre Dame, if the AP poll wants to say Notre Dame is the 16th best team in the country, then 17 should be Auburn. I don't think either should be that high. I think they should be like 23 and 24 maybe. But, like, here these blind resumes. One team, I mean, we already talked about it, so, like, it's kind of exposed which team this is. But one team has beat Arkansas, Purdue, and Boise State and lost to Miami and A&M. One team has beat Baylor, South Alabama, and Ball State and lost to OU and A&M. Both teams lost to A&M. Both teams have had a second loss to a top 6 team in the country. And then both teams don't really have a great win or, like, any statement wins. Arkansas and Baylor are 2 respectable teams, but not anything insane. Yet Auburn is, I mean, I'd have to count a lot. They got 1 vote, literally 1 singular vote. So they are, I think, about ranked 37th, if I'm counting correctly. And Notre Dame is 16th. So they are 21 spots of difference when their resumes look the exact same.
Yeah.
That's where it feels like a little bit of bias. Like, that's where I don't appreciate the Notre Dame ranking, is if you can't give them that if you're not going to give it to other teams that have similar resumes. And on top of that, I didn't even mention Auburn. I mean, it's a debate if they should have won that OU game because of the illegal touchdown and the fumble called back. Like, the SEC literally came out and said touchdown shouldn't have counted. And, I mean, anyone who has eyes could rewatch that fumble play, and, like, it shouldn't have even been a debate that ball was out. So, really, Auburn should have a top 6 win right now.
Yeah.
To me, the resume looks better, and they're sitting at 37 versus 16.
I don't even know where this is coming from, right? Because we all know Notre Dame is not Power 4 technically.
Yeah.
They're an independent team. Auburn is a Power 4 team.
They're SEC.
Auburn is a national championship Power 4 team.
Mm-hmm.
Way more recent than Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So again, like I said, I don't know where this is coming from. It's stupid. And they've been doing this to Notre Dame for years.
Yeah.
I mean, just years. Like, I don't know what year it was, but I just remember the playoff matchup. It was number 1 Alabama versus number 4 Notre Dame in the semifinals, where they did the 14. Alabama absolutely smoked them. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I think it was like 53-7 or something. It was insane. I think they have always had a bias for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And it's never the correct bias because they're never that good unless you're talking about last year.
Yeah.
So
And what confuses me is, we talked about this before, is resume versus, like, just projections. And it felt like for the longest time we talked about this. Texas, Penn State a little bit different, and we'll get into Texas and Penn State then. Texas never felt like they deserved the ranking. Their resume hadn't shown it. It was all based off of projection and what they thought this team was. And then now, obviously, Texas proves that they're not who they thought they were and they're unranked. Notre Dame feels like they're this high because of projection. And I think it's a valid projection. We talked about this again. If you put Notre Dame and Auburn on a football field and told me to pick it, I'm saying Notre Dame without blinking. Like, Notre Dame is the better team, but the AP poll should be based off what you've done, not what we think you can do.
Yes.
And that's where it's kind of become sometimes it's a what we think you can do. And Texas proved why it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
So now let's get into that. Are you happy that Texas and Penn State are actually unranked? Because I'm kind of shocked that they actually pulled the trigger on both.
Yeah, I'm shocked over Notre Dame. I'm very shocked, and I mean, I think I understand it. I don't know. I don't want to go like too far down the rabbit hole, you know, but I think they unranked Texas because they felt bad about not going to college, like not bringing College Game Day down in Red River,
Yeah.
and they're going to Oregon. So they had to be like, oh, it's not going to be like a good game. It's unranked Texas.
Yeah.
That's just a
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. I can't say that word. But Texas, they're still number 2 in receiving votes. Penn State's number 3. I mean, it's not like they're totally out of the conversation.
Which then again, I mean, I'm not some Auburn stan here, but like again, Auburn's sitting at 37, also 2 losses. Their losses are much better than Penn State and Texas's losses, and none of these 3 teams have a win, like a good win. So
I don't
why
know.
is Auburn sitting down so low?
We can debate about Florida.
Well, but Florida's nowhere near an A&M or an OU that Auburn's lost to.
Yeah, that's true.
So
but I mean, I can't give you any excuses for that UCLA.
Oh yeah, no.
I just can't.
No, there's no excuse for that.
But
UCLA
Texas,
game.
you could say that it's DJ Lagway. He's still a talented player.
Yes, no, I don't think the Texas loss is as bad as maybe people think it is, but I'm saying it's still a worse loss than the ones Auburn have. But we can move on. There's 2 more points I want to make. I don't know if there's anything if there's anything that you want to specifically point out from the AP poll, please chime in. But we talked about this off camera. Why is Iowa State still ranked over Cincinnati? And again, that's just based off of the AP poll not wanting to correct what they had wrong. Since they had Iowa State, was it 14 or 12?
14.
Okay, they had Iowa State at 14. They didn't want to drop them all the way out of the top 25, so instead they moved them down to 22. Cincinnati has the exact same record. Actually, sorry, they have 1 less win than Iowa State because Iowa State had the Week 0 game. But 4-1 versus 5-1, and Cincinnati has the head-to-head win. And Cincinnati is 26th. They're the one right outside the top 25, and Iowa State's 22. It just feels like the AP poll didn't want to correct their mistake. And that, to me, feels lazy. If your team just beat someone, and if their resumes look similar, and one of them has a head-to-head, why is that team not clearly above the other?
Media bias, maybe?
And
I mean, it is the media poll.
It is. And Cincinnati, they don't want to give respect to Cincinnati. Like, that Iowa State's an easier team to
Especially
give respect
after
to.
last time they did.
Yeah. Yeah, true. And then on top of that, Iowa State has a ranked win. That ranked win's Kansas State. Like, that win shouldn't even be valid anymore. That shouldn't even be seen as a ranked win anymore. Kansas State, I mean, they've looked better these past couple weeks, but the Kansas State Iowa State played was trash. The Kansas State Iowa State played lost to Army the next week. Like,
yeah.
And it's the same bias that got Alabama a top 10 seed every year, regardless of how bad they really played.
yeah. But
And
Bama
they're
bias
still getting it.
yeah, Bama still gets biased, but it feels weird to see Iowa State over Cincinnati bias. It's like, what are we doing here? And then the final thing I want to point out, I didn't mention it when you were talking about North Texas, but I am really high on this Memphis team. They're the first bowl eligible team in all of college football. They're 6-0.
Yep.
And they've got to win over an SEC team in Arkansas. I mean, they should at the very least, be over Iowa State.
Yep.
I mean, I think they should be getting a little more respect, even over like a BYU.
Yeah, I truly think that whoever wins the American goes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make a conversation for UNLV.
Mm-hmm.
They look pretty good. But I think these are the best teams out of the group of 5.
Yeah.
Is this American Conference.
Yeah. No, I agree. But the problem is they're not going to get the respect because they don't rank them high, so when they beat each other, it doesn't look like a good win. Like, Memphis should be around where Notre Dame is, around where Michigan is, and if that's the case, then when, let's say, a North Texas or a UNLV beats Memphis, it's a 15-seed win, beating a number 15 seed rather than beating the number 23 team.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But it's also nowadays, especially in the new playoff era, if you're a group of 5 team and they're respecting you enough to rank you halfway through the season, then if you get a win, you'll keep going up.
Yeah.
And we saw that a lot. We definitely saw that with Boise State.
Yeah.
You keep winning, we'll raise you. It won't be far. It won't be like 15 spots, but
Yeah.
we'll keep raising you.
But you can eventually get
Yeah.
to that top 12.
I mean, if you asked me before the season started that 2 American teams would be ranked right now,
Yeah.
I'd say you're crazy. I'd be like, yeah, 1, not 2.
Yeah.
And, well, there it is.
Here we are. Man, do you have anything else that you want to bring in about the AP poll, or is that about it? I think that's about all I had.
Yeah, that's about all I have about the AP.
Okay, bet. Well, then we're going to head to commercial break real quick, and then when we get back, we're going to do a college football pick'em. Welcome back into We Know Ball. Now, I mentioned we're going to get into a college football pick'em. We're going to go through some of the biggest games of the weekend. We've got about 8 games. We're going to see how long we yap. We might not get to all 8. And then we've got a best bet segment at the end of the show that I'll get into later. But we're going to start with the biggest game of the weekend. I guess maybe it's not the biggest. It's a higher ranked matchup. But in my opinion, the biggest game of the weekend, Alabama versus Mizzou. Everyone knows my hot take from last week that I have Mizzou making the college football playoffs, and I think they're going to get a 10-win. They're going to be a 10-win team. So I'll let you go first, or do you want me to go first on this Bama Mizzou game?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first. I think it's funny that both of our hot takes from last week, Vandy and then Mizzou, you had Vandy lose to Bama, which they still could go 11-1. Watch out. But now you got Mizzou up. Does Bama take out both of our hot takes?
Does Bama ruin our Cinderellas?
But for this game, after looking over, I mean, Alabama just has the better record, the better schedule that they had to face so far.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri, they played.
Kansas,
I'd say a pretty good Kansas team. I like the South Carolina team, but Bama. I mean, you got Georgia, you got Vandy, you got a bad loss to Florida State, but it's Florida State. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Mizzou, their last game they played was against UMass, the worst FBS team.
Yeah.
And they've gotten to play them for 2 years in a row.
But then you can argue Mizzou's basically gotten 2 weeks to prep for Bama then.
Yes, but at the same time, you can never not prep for a team.
Yes, I know.
So I've got Bama in this.
Okay. Well, I've got Mizzou, and I feel like that's
course,
not a shock. But the more and more I looked into trying to find research to back up my point, the more and more I'm actually just confident that Mizzou's winning this game. It's no longer my hot take Cinderella. Like, I genuinely think Mizzou's winning this game. So, I mean, first and foremost, I really love Bo Pribula. We've talked about it all season on this show. I mean, he's got 1,200 passing yards, 9 touchdowns. He's got 3 more on the ground. Like, he's had a great season. He's a good dual-threat quarterback, which is kind of what you need in college football right now. At least someone that he's ran for 121 yards. I mean, obviously, take out some sack yards, he's probably ran for 250.
Yeah.
But he doesn't run maybe as much as a lot of the highest mobile quarterbacks in college football, but he runs enough to extend plays and then to, if he needs to. They've got one of the best running backs in the nation, and Amon Hardy. I mean, he's got 730 yards so far in 5 weeks, 9 touchdowns, 7 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And they've faced some good teams. Again, they faced Kansas, they faced South Carolina, and he's still done it against everyone. He doesn't care who you are, he's going to put you down. So I love that. They're 61.6% on third downs, one of the top 10 in the nation, or in FBS. Sorry,
But again,
they haven't faced a lot of good teams,
Yeah.
yes. But here's the point that I want to make. Bama has Ty Simpson. I love Bo Pribula. I'm still taking Ty Simpson over Bo Pribula. I think they have a better quarterback, and I think Bama's passing game is going to be great against Mizzou. Mizzou's given up good, big passing games to lesser than quarterbacks. I think Simpson throws for 300 yards, probably.
yeah.
But the thing that's been the talk about Bama, and they were talking about it all on game day last week, is if Bama wanted to beat Vandy, they had to have a run game. They need a run game. They didn't have it against Georgia. They didn't have it against Florida State. They needed a run game. They finally, last week against Vandy, got that run game going. They had a really solid run game last week.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen this week.
I think it was J.M. Miller is a running back,
Yes.
right? Yep.
Not going to happen this week. Missouri has the #1 run defense so far through 5 weeks in the country. They're giving up 62 yards per game. And now you can say, bad competition. So you want to go look at the 2 good offenses they faced? You want to hear that?
Kansas and
South Carolina. Kansas carried the ball 18 times for 31 yards against Missouri. Less than 2 yards per carry. South Carolina, with the game that Sellers played, carried the ball 22 times for -9 yards. against Mizzou. Against good competition, and I mean, Kansas, you can say what you want about their defense. Their offense is really good. You can say what you want about South Carolina. Holding a SEC team to -9 rushing yards is insane. This is a really good run defense. And I think they are going to be able to shut down Alabama's subpar run game. And if they make Alabama one-dimensional, I really like Mizzou's chances because they are not one-dimensional. They have a passing game and they have a running game.
All right. We got other games to move on.
Yes, we got other games to talk about, but I really do love Mizzou this week. Let's go to Red River, though. A game that probably was, like, a few weeks ago, a lot more hyped up, and now, like you said, Texas is unranked and Mateer is questionable. He's actually looking like he's trending towards playing. At least that's what all the OU sources are saying, but...
Yeah, of course they are. I just... Here's the thing, right? A lot of people have been talking to me about this Mateer injury, and I'm like, if this is going to affect his career, and if he goes in there and he's not 100% and he hurts it worse, like, that's going to affect his career.
Yeah.
You forget, he's just... he can go to the draft.
Yeah,
after
he will
this
be in
year.
the draft.
Yeah. I don't think he should risk it. If he's feeling 100%, yeah, go for it. Fine. But if he's not, and he's still not fully healed, I don't think you risk it. I don't think you need to risk it.
And it's almost like the question of, does the coaching staff think they might just be able to beat Texas without him? With how Texas has looked recently and with how good OU's defense has been, they will probably give Arch Manning nightmares.
Yeah.
I think this game does depend a lot on Mateer. If Mateer plays, I don't even care if he's 70%. There's no question in my mind OU wins this game. If Mateer doesn't play, that's where it gets interesting. Neutral site, obviously, at the Texas State Fair. But I think I'm betting on defenses. And not that Texas' defense isn't great, but I really like what I've seen out of OU's defense. So I think I'm going OU either way.
Yeah, I think I have to go OU too.
Yeah, it's hard. But even without, yes, they played Kent State last week, but it's not like their backup quarterback isn't someone who didn't start games for them last year. Like, he started games in the SEC, and it is Kent State, but they put up 48. Like, they looked like a respectable offense, like what you'd want to see out of a backup quarterback against a bad team.
Well, we did say at the beginning of this year that we think OU and A&M could beat this Texas team.
Oh, yeah. And that's
before Texas lost to Florida.
Yeah,
we said that.
We called that. We called that like week 2. I said OU and A&M are beating Texas, and you're like, you were hesitant on A&M, but you were 100% on OU, but you said yes for both. And, we would have been right if OU is healthy. Now the question is if OU might lose because no Mateer. But if they have Mateer, this isn't even a question. This is a win. So let's move on to the next game. Actually, probably the biggest game of the weekend because it's the 2 top 10 teams facing off. You've got Oregon. You've got Indiana. Number 3 Oregon, number 7 Indiana. First off, before you even give your pick, what are your opinions on Indiana? Are you one of those guys that just kind of feels like they haven't played nobody, or are you actually high on them? Do you think they've earned the 7?
If this gives you an example, I'm one of those guys who picked them over Indiana. Or Illinois.
Illinois, okay.
So, that was not a popular pick.
Yeah, no.
I really like what I've seen out of Mendoza. I think he's playing best football right now.
What?
But Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks,
Yeah.
Dante Moore.
The more connection they got
The
going on
more
there.
to more connection. It's unbelievable what they're doing.
Yeah.
Upset Penn State.
At the whiteout.
In their house. Wide out. This team is special. And this team is going to have a great resume for the playoffs. Like, if they take down Indiana, that's 2 top 10 teams that they've taken down.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, I've got Oregon.
This game is actually a lot closer to me than I think most people would think. Like, I actually am high on this Indiana team. I was not someone a couple weeks ago. Like, I was brainwashed into they just play no one, they'll lose in the playoffs by 60, who cares, blah, blah, blah. And then I kind of sat down and watched a little bit of that Illinois game, and then I've just done a lot more research on them. I really like this team. Like, they match up pretty similarly. So, like, I wanted to read off a couple stats. Dante Moore, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. Fernando Mendoza, 16 touchdowns, 1 interception. Pretty similar stats there. Oregon averages 264 rush yards a game. Indiana averages 270 rush yards a game. These are 2 very similar teams with great run games that want to run the ball a lot, but their quarterbacks are going to find some guys in the end zone, and they're not going to turn the ball over. They also are both teams that have a top 10 win against teams that have now kind of fallen off a little bit, and then a lot of blowout wins against bad teams. Their resumes, their stats, they all look very similar. Their coaches, both great coaches. I really love Kurt Zanetti for Indiana, And then obviously Dan Lanning's one of the best in football.
I don't like how he can't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey,
last
Dan Lanning
year-
can't either, though, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, last year in that playoffs, he was just talking all that mess and then lost.
Yeah. So the spread is 7.5 on this game. I almost picked this as my best bet that I like Indiana to cover here and keep this close, but I am still going to lean Oregon and their star power and their experience in these type of games, and at home. So, moving on to the next game, we can hit these a little bit quicker if we want, but we're not on too much of a rush for time. A&M Florida. So Florida coming off their big win. We said they could be better than people think, and Texas is like maybe it's not Texas as bad as everyone's trying to put them out to be now, but Florida's just good. But A&M, I mean, they've proven it. They've beaten Notre Dame. They've beaten Auburn. They've beaten some good teams.
I mean, if Florida wins this game, right, they could say they own Texas. Like the whole state. The whole state.
Hey, they got to go through Tech.
Because Arkansas did that, I think it was 2021 with KJ Jefferson. They beat Texas and A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we own Texas. But I just think what Marcel Reed is doing right now, I think I'm glazing every quarterback on every team.
I know.
But he's looked really good. He's like a dual threat quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Your premier dual threat quarterback you want on your team.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like we haven't seen that much of any quarterback in college football so far. Like a true dual threat quarterback. I think he's more of a pure runner. But a true guy like that, like Lamar Jackson, we haven't seen that really.
Stealing my comparison.
Yeah, it's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Really good. Florida team coming off a great win, still has star power in their quarterback DJ Lagway. I cannot believe in this team,
Yeah.
and I don't care that they beat Texas, whatever. I can't believe in this team. I can't.
Also, I feel like, I mean, maybe this is like wrong of me to say, but I feel like when's the last time we've seen a team that was like, I mean, they were 1-3 before the Texas win, right?
Yep.
Like a 1-3 team went back-to-back upsets against top 10 teams. Like that's just not really going to happen. Like you pull off the upset usually, then like I don't really know if I've seen a team pull off two major upsets back-to-back weeks like this. So I just feel like almost vibes-wise, I'm like Florida can't do it 2 weeks in a row. But then also, I mean, everyone knows I'm high on A&M. I've compared Marcel Reed to Lamar Jackson. I love Kevin Concepcion. I love Mario Craver. I love the running back duo they got back there. I think A&M is legit. Their defense is legit, too. I mean, they held Auburn 10 points last week. Like, their defenses look good, and their offenses looked elite. They're a team that feels... I mean, this could get clipped, but they're a team that feels upset-proof. I could see them losing big games, but the way they play football, they feel upset-proof.
They always do, and then they always let you down.
Exactly. So now this is going to get clipped when when they lose this weekend to Florida. But let's move on. Stay in the SEC. Georgia-Auburn. Now, I've talked a lot about Auburn in this show. Do you think they can pull off the
Not
upset?
close. Georgia wins emphatically.
Okay. Well, I'm on the opposite because I picked Auburn. So let me tell you why. Auburn's biggest flaw is their offensive line.
Yep.
They cannot block. They cannot block save life. Jackson Arnold's been dying in the backfield recently. So then you look at the matchup and you say, oh, Georgia's D-line, yeah, bye-bye Auburn. Bye-bye Auburn, bye-bye Arnold. You're getting destroyed. This isn't the same Georgia D-line, though, we've seen in previous years. They got 0 sacks against Ty Simpson and Bama. They got 1 sack against Tennessee and Aguilar. And they got 2 sacks for only 7 yards against Kentucky last week. They're not a team that's been getting a ton of sacks. They're still a pretty good run defense. But this D-line hasn't been getting home a lot on quarterbacks. So it feels like, okay, Georgia's D-line should destroy Auburn's offensive line, but they're not a team that's really done that so far this season. I mean, it's still Auburn's offensive line. They're probably going to get sacked 3 or 4 times. But if he's not getting beat up like 10 times like OU, I really do like Auburn's offense. And there's just something about Georgia that I just don't trust. They should have lost to Tennessee. They lost to Bama.
You've been hating.
I have been hating on Georgia. Gunnar Stockton, to me, I'm not a huge fan of. It's probably crazy to pull this upset. But, again, I feel like it's one of those teams that it wouldn't be as crazy if Auburn were ranked like 19 right now, which is where I feel like they deserve. But since they're getting disrespected, I feel like sometimes when those teams get disrespected and they're playing with a chip on their shoulder or they're playing with something to prove, those are the type of teams that go out and do it. So I know I've picked a lot of upsets, honestly, so far this week, but it feels like an upset week to me because it feels like the AP poll is a little off on some of these teams.
That's what I felt about last week, and I was totally wrong.
Well, there was a lot of upsets last week, but you didn't pick
I picked the wrong ones.
Yeah, you picked the wrong
I picked
ones.
Florida State and Vandy.
Yeah, but you did pick Florida, right? I believe.
No, I picked Texas.
I picked Florida. Well, moving on to the next game though, we'll knock out 3 more real quick. We're getting to our best bet, or 2 more real quick. Sorry. Number 15, Michigan versus USC. Now it wouldn't be an upset to pick USC in this game. They are favored at home, even though they aren't the ranked team. What do you got in this one?
I've got USC.
Yeah.
This Michigan team, they've looked shaky.
Mhm.
I know that loss to OU is a good loss because they're the number 6 team in the nation. I just don't see anything I really like about this Michigan team.
Yeah.
Nothing stands out. Nothing pops out.
I don't want to interrupt, but Justice Haynes. He's been going crazy.
Yeah,
650
yeah.
yards, 8 touchdowns so far this season.
He's good,
Yeah.
but we saw with Boise you can't compete with just a good running back. You gotta
Yeah.
have other stuff.
Mhm.
And if this USC defense stops the run, I think Michigan just can't breathe.
No, I think here's my opinion. I'm also going USC. And it's mainly, I'm a quarterback guy. I look at teams' defenses and I look at quarterbacks. I love run
You
games.
think I'm not? I'm
Yeah.
bringing up like every single team.
But a big factor to me when I'm picking a game that feels like a toss-up is just who's got the better quarterback, who's got the better guy in the backfield. And it's Jordan Mailata, and it's not even close. Bryce Underwood, he's got all the potential, and he can get there in years to come. He's shown some good rushing ability, but I haven't really liked what I've seen out of him in the passing game yet.
just too young.
Yeah, and Mailata, he's looked amazing so far this season. And then USC doesn't have a bad run game either. Raymond Jordan's got 537 yards, 5 touchdowns for the Trojans as well. So I think the running game's not that different, and I really like the passing game a ton more for USC. So I like teams that are 2-dimensional, not 1-dimensional, and I feel like Michigan's a 1-dimensional team.
I agree with you.
Final game we will hit, BYU versus Arizona. BYU is ranked currently. BYU is the number 18 team in the country. Obviously, Arizona is not ranked. Going to play in Arizona, though. What do you think about this one?
I'll let you go first this one.
Okay, I'm going Arizona, and so it's another upset I'm picking. But I think it's also why I like the upsets this week too. Is a lot of the teams I don't like are playing teams I do, and then on top of that, the teams I do are at home a lot. Mizzou's at home, Auburn's at home, Arizona's at home. Like I like the home team in college football. It's a huge advantage. If this was played at BYU, I'm going BYU. Like these teams are close to me, and BYU's home field advantage is huge, but it's not. It's played in Arizona. And again, it just goes back to the quarterback battle. I trust Noah Fifita a lot more than I trust Bear Bachmeier. And BYU just hasn't played anyone. They played Portland State, beat them by 69. That's great. But they beat Colorado by 3 and West Virginia by 14. Colorado and West Virginia are 2 bottom 4 teams in the Big 12 this season. I'm not impressed. And so Arizona has shown me some stuff that's impressed me.
Yeah, they have a statement win over Oklahoma State.
I know,
a
really
statement.
A team that was in the Big 12 championship 2 years ago. Like that's a huge win for Arizona by 28.
Anyways, I agree with you. I really like this matchup for upset-wise because BYU, like you said, they haven't had anything to prove.
Mhm.
They're kind of like, who was I going to say? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Team that hasn't proved anything.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Who was I going to say? Missouri.
Oh, whoa. Don't call BYU Missouri.
I'm sorry. It's just how I feel.
Missouri's at least played 2 good teams.
Yeah, not ranked teams.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. West Virginia, good team, beat Pitt.
It's not a good team.
Noah Fifita, 1,341 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. We forget sometimes that he's also like 5'8".
They have him listed at 5'10", but he just doesn't look it in the backfield.
Like, I think he's shorter than Kyler Murray. And he's putting up those stats. And he's doing all this. BYU, they do have a good running back. I will give them that.
Yeah, LJ Martin.
But same thing that we just said about Michigan. Kind of one dimension.
Yeah.
They do have a good wide receiver in Roberts. He's pretty good. But their quarterback, I don't like their quarterback.
If you were number 47 as a quarterback, I'm sorry, I just can't get behind you being successful.
Yeah, that's so weird. Like, it looks like the punter's out there throwing the ball. I turned on the BYU game. I was like, did their quarterback get hurt? Is the punter in? I was like, oh my gosh, that's the quarterback. But this Arizona defense, give them credit. They've looked really good. I know it was against a bummy Oklahoma State team, but I mean, they looked really good in that game.
Now, we've done with all of our picks for the week. We're going to get into a new segment. It's called Best Bet. And they do it on game day where they pick their favorite spread of the week. Basically, doubling down on a team they're really confident in or a team that they think can maybe pull an upset. They pick that spread. So, Mason, what is your best bet of the week?
My best bet, or my spread dog. I think we should change it to that.
Spread dog? Okay.
This game's at 8:45. Fox Sports 1.
FS1.
A former playoff team. Can you guess?
Now you got me thinking. Like, former playoff team meaning like last year or like
Yeah, last year.
SMU? Okay.
I've got Boise State and New Mexico. I've got New Mexico covering the spread. It's 16.5. This New Mexico team has looked phenomenal. Let me pull you up some of their stats, right? You got, well, first of all, I just want to point this out. They did have to play Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only lost 34-17.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so basically lost by what this spread was.
Yeah.
And that's Michigan, not Boise State.
UCLA dominated them.
Yeah.
35-10.
So they're better than Penn State then.
Exactly. They did have a bad loss against San Jose State. 35-28. We know that. We take it in consideration. We think about it. We make solutions to mistakes. And then, I mean, this team, it looks so good. Boise State, we just talked about how they are not the playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely just complete opposite. And this little, I think he might be ginger. I think he might be blonde. I'm not for sure. But Jack Lane, quarterback in New Mexico.
Yeah.
I really like what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the stats of like
the guys we've been talking about. This season.
Like Noah Fafita. I mean, he's got over 1,000 yards passing.
Yeah.
And you could say he kind of sells the game for New Mexico. Mm-hmm. He's got 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
James Winston type player.
And he's also been sacked 9 times for 62 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of question marks on this team. I just think when you put this team up against this spread, up against Boise on the blue field, I think there's no doubt that they're going to cover.
Yeah.
No, they're probably not going to win because it's still like, well, I mean, Matt Wagner, right? But, I mean, this is the biggest spread I've ever seen this week so far. I don't think I've seen a bigger spread.
Really? I mean, I'm trying to think that. I mean, there's probably a couple, like, no, actually, really, even all the conference games I've seen, like 13.5, 14.5, like 16.5 is huge. And the fact that, I think the point that you brought up that Michigan, they lost to Michigan by 17, and this spread is 17. So do we really think that they are going to lose by more to Boise State than Michigan? I think that's a stretch. I really like that. My bet of the week, or what'd you call it?
Spread dog.
My spread dog of the week is going to be Arizona State. So Arizona State's a ranked team. They're 4-1 on the season, going into Utah, and they're 5.5-point underdogs. Like, I can understand Utah.
6.5.
It moved?
Yeah.
I can see Utah being favored in this game, but Arizona State is a team that, I mean, their only lost season is to Mississippi State, which I think we both agree is a good team. Like they were a borderline ranked team before losing this last week. They only lost that game by 3 points or 4 points. They beat Baylor by 3, beat TCU by 3. First and foremost, they're just playing close games. That's just kind of the memo of this Arizona State team. So even if they are to lose to Utah, I don't think they lose by more than, I mean, now 6. I was thinking they don't lose by more than 4. I would have taken this at 3.5, and it's at 6.5. So the spread feels way too big. Utah has beaten up on some bad teams. They got blown out by Tech. I really do like the Utah team. I love Devin Dampier. I think Utah can win this game. I don't know if I want to pick Arizona State outright, but I think if Utah wins this game, it's close.
I wouldn't say blown out by Tech. They put up a really good half against them.
Yeah.
It's just they didn't have a good second half.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's to me doesn't really make sense why the spread's this big unless there's a big injury. But I mean, Levitt's not injured, Tyson's not injured. Like, I guess those are really the only 2 bigger injuries. I don't care who else gets injured. Those guys are in. They have a chance. And so I just don't see a world where Arizona State doesn't make this close. I would pick Arizona State outright, but the bet is 6.5. That's easy.
Yeah.
And if that line changes to 4.5, I'm still taking that.
Also, I did find a bigger spread than the Boise State one. SMU 19.5 against Stanford,
Okay.
which I would not pick Stanford.
But that's, I think, it. I think we got through everything. We talked NFL, we talked college football, we got our hot takes, we got our bets. A lot of content in this week's show. But for now, that's all we got, and we'll see y'all next week.